it takes work, it takes effort to build a marriage while you're so freaking busy. So one, I like to call this micro moments throughout the day. Like literally, these are huge. These seem insignificant, but they're huge needle movers in a relationship. So like, for instance, if you just text your wife, hey, I'm just thinking of you, nothing more, just thinking about you, and I've got a smile on my face. Holy crap, man. That goes so far. Well, guys, fall is here, and it's all about the kids. School, sports, activities, dance recitals, cheer competitions, football, soccer, Boy Scouts, brownies, Cub Scouts, choir, running club, track, whatever. Whatever our kids are into, we are into it too. And this is where keeping a marriage alive through all of this is really, really hard. And I know this firsthand, guys. I've been married for 22 years with 4 boys in the mix, and it's way too easy to drift into the roommate mode. But here is the truth. If we want strong families, it starts with strong marriages. Our kids thrive when they see mom and dad connected, and that's what today's podcast is all about. Gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Larry Hagner. I am the host and founder of the Dad Edge podcast. Been married to the same wonderful woman who has put up with my rear end for, 22 years and a total of almost 30. That woman deserves a gold medal at this point because she's had to deal with me. I am the father of 4 amazing boys. I'm the founder of the Dad Edge Alliance, which that is our elite brotherhood for our career guys who refuse to settle for a mediocre marriage or a mediocre connection with their kids. And then I'm also the founder of the Dad Edge Business Boardroom, which is for our business owners. That's our elite group for business owners. Those are the guys who are warriors outside the castle. They go out and they slay dragons all day. They eat what they kill. They put a lot of attention, a lot of physical, mental, emotional attention on their business, which sometimes that can leave our family a bit in the dust, and we're not trying to do that. Like the reason we work so hard as entrepreneurs is because we want to make sure that we provide. But sometimes we slip a little bit too far into that, side of the field, and we leave our marriages in the dust just a little bit. And we leave our kids in the dust a little bit. And the boardroom is for men who refuse to do that. They want to continue to grow and scale their business without costing them their families. And that's why we developed that. And to be honest with you, I developed that 7 years ago because we had a bunch of business owners that came into the alliance. And quite frankly, they got bored because we didn't have a way for them to talk about their businesses, to help them with their businesses. So we developed that program strictly we help men continue to grow and scale their business while also creating extraordinary marriage, while also creating an extraordinary connection with their kids. So as you guys probably saw in the September episodes, my Friday episodes, these are going to be short. They're going to be short, to the point. Like I'm going to give you guys about 3 nuggets per week just to grasp onto something and to start your weekend out right. That is my goal for Friday shows. So my goal is to get these all done in like under 15 minutes, just super short, to the point. A couple of quick announcements before I get into what you can do in your marriage, even when life wants to pull you in 1,000 different directions right now, because that is what we're facing right now. I see this. I've been doing this work for 10 years. I know the seasons of families, and I'll tell you, we get hit so hard with an influx of members over the summer because things kind of calm down. September slows way down because we're ripping the Band-Aid off of school and all the activities, and everything's like, whoa, we just literally went from like summer vacation, everybody's got some time, to now we have no time, and we're just scrambling to race against the clock of the day, get the kids to school, get them home, get them to their thing, their activity, get them fed, get the homework done, get the nighttime routine, the baths, the showers, and whew, that was a day, right? Summer doesn't really feel like that. Like we hit the fast and furious button in September. Then in October, November, like we explode again in the Dad Edge. Like guys, like I think guys outside of our group, they experience 1 month like that, and they're like, whoa, time out. Like, I do not want to do this alone. This sucks. It's moving way too fast, and I want to make sure that I am doing the best job that I possibly can. I want to be the most uncommon leader I possibly can. So I think that's why we get flooded in October. We usually have our biggest month in the Alliance and in the boardroom for applications in the month of October. It's been that way for 7 years. It's like triple the amount of people that we normally get. But that's one announcement. Things just get crazy. Number 2 announcement is this. The Pursuit of Legendary Fatherhood. Yes, yes, yes. This came out mid-September, is officially, if you guys are watching me on YouTube, I'm holding up the book right now, The Pursuit of Legendary Fatherhood. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for all of your pre-orders. Oh my gosh, hundreds of them came in, hundreds. I literally just got the shipment of the first 350 books that were ordered. That's not including the more that came out. The first 350, we didn't expect that many, that I need to sign and get out. So I'm going to be getting those out the 2nd and 3rd week of October. So like literally I'm going to have carpal tunnel by the end of it, but I'm so honored. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so much for the pre-orders. And we hit the top sellers list on Amazon. So thank you guys so much for that. Here's what I'm going to do though. I didn't expect such this huge influx of pre-orders and books. So I'm going to leave that offer up there. And the offer was this, just to remind you. I know I was going to offer this to the end of September, but I'm going to offer it now to the end of October. And that is, if you guys go to thedadedge.com/legendary book, again, thedadedge.com/legendary book, you can order the book for $28, but I'm also giving anybody who orders the book access to my 2 most popular courses that I have. One is called Creating More Patience. It's a 45-minute course. I teach you 6 skills on how to be a more patient. Oh my God. Patient, if I can only talk. I didn't get my degree in sports, in speech therapy. I got it in sports med. Creating More Patience. I teach you 6 skills in that course to make you more patient and more resilient, more responsive and less reactive. So die hard tactical skills in that course. The second course, very popular, even more popular than the patience course, was the Creating Extraordinary Marriage course, where I teach you 11 skills on how to communicate more effectively with your wife, to build more intimacy, more closeness, to fulfill her 3 needs of to feel seen, heard, and safe, so you can get your needs fulfilled of being respected, appreciated, and more physical affection. That's what guys want. And that's what those 2 courses are all about. So you have till now the end of October. Go grab a couple of those. If you want to, go grab one. You'll get free access. You'll get $1,000 in 2 courses if you pre-order the book. So thank you guys so much for that. So let's get to today's podcast. That's why you guys are here. And speaking of creating an extraordinary marriage, this time of year gets really, really nuts for me and my wife. And just talking to other parents in the bleachers, like, listen, I'm at a football game every Friday night for my 17-year-old. And then I'm at a football game every Saturday for my 6th grader. And we're also doing Taekwondo right now. And on top of it, my oldest son is pursuing his certification in EMT and paramedic, and he's studying to be a firefighter. Lots of things happening, right? This is where it's really, really tempting for me. I'll be really honest. Like I feel this pull to focus so much on the kids, which I don't think is wrong, but I don't think it's balanced. I'm going to say that one more time. I don't think it's wrong, but I really just don't think that it's a balanced approach to marriage. I actually think you can have both. If you really, really want it, you can have both. But it takes a balancing act. So it's really, really easy. Like, our mornings get started with our kids. It's nuts, trying to get the breakfast in them, trying to get everything ready to go. Then they're off to school, and then we're off to work. And then the day moves fast and furious. The kids come home. They settle in for a minute. We go to go to practice. We go to Taekwondo. You guys might go to cheerleading, might go to Girl Scouts, tons of stuff, right? Then you got to fit in dinner somehow. Then you got to fit in cleaning it up somehow. Then you've got like the bedtime routine. And then you get to the nighttime with your wife and you're like, yeah, maybe we'll talk tomorrow. Man, I am so guilty of that, because like I just want to kind of like give in to the busyness, right? Because it does, man. It takes work. It takes effort to build a marriage while you're so freaking busy. So here's one way. I'm going to give you guys 3. One, I like to call this micro moments. Micro moments throughout the day. Like literally, these are huge. These seem insignificant, but they're huge needle movers in a relationship. So like, for instance, if you just text your wife, hey, I'm just thinking of you, nothing more, just thinking about you, and I've got a smile on my face. Holy crap, man. That goes so far. And if you don't believe that would go so far, what would that feel like if she sent that to you? What? Like, I think I might call off early from work that day, be like, what, you've been thinking about me? What does that mean? Right. But it takes 10 seconds. Another way to do this, hide a Post-it note somewhere where you know she's going to find it. Be really, really specific with some sort of compliment, with some sort of words of affirmation. Tell her something specifically that you appreciate about her. And it's got to go beyond like, you look super hot in yoga pants. My wife looks super hot in yoga pants. I'm not going to lie. She wears them every day. And when I'm trying to podcast and she walks past my office, it's really hard, like, not to get so distracted because, like, I mean, that's what dudes think about, right? But I know that that is not the way to her heart. The way to her heart is little notes, or it's a text, or it's just going, here's another way to my wife's heart. I don't know what it is about this. My wife finds it so attractive, so appealing, so sexy when I just hug her and give her a kiss on the forehead. I'm not even kidding. When she told me that, I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. She's like, I seriously want to melt in your arms when you do that. I'm like, why? And she's like, there's something about it when you do that to me, I feel so safe. And those are her words, so safe. Like you're holding me, you're hugging me, you got me, you kiss me on my forehead. You're not like kissing me on my neck or trying to like passionately get to me, or like your hands are all over me. It's just like, you love me, you cherish me, I'm safe with you, you don't have an agenda. And when I feel that way, that's when I do want to rip your clothes off. That's what she told me. I'm not even kidding. So sometimes like the things that are the way to our heart, like, man, we just want to be groped and kissed and all that other stuff. That might not be the way to her heart. So that's number one, these micro moments. Just try that. The other thing, I'm a huge fan. It can get kind of expensive, I'm not going to lie. My wife loves like these chai tea lattes and these almond milk lattes. I'm just a black coffee guy. That's the way to my heart. Just give me a cup of black coffee. That's it. But my wife like loves those foo drinks, or like she loves like these really cool energy drinks from 7 Brew. But like while I'm out and about, like if I'm on my way back from the gym or the store or something like that, I'll just run through a drive-through. I'll get her one of those and I'll write like a little note on the cup, like, hey, I love you, I cherish you, whatever. Just a little bitty note. That way, whenever she takes a sip, she sees that when she takes a sip, I write it in a Sharpie. Don't write it in something that's going to like get on her lips. Don't do that. I did that once. Don't do it. So that's one, micro moments. The other one is this: one intentional date night per week. Now, look, I know that sounds like a really heavy lift. Like, dude, I have no time for that. Are you crazy? You got to do it. You got to do it. Even if it's only for 30 minutes at your kitchen table in the morning while the kids are at school. I'm not even kidding. Every Friday, my wife and I have a date day. And it's usually this: we go out to lunch and we usually do something active. Like we usually go for a really big walk, usually like 4, 5, 6 miles. Sometimes if the weather's good. Sometimes we'll go on a hike. Sometimes we'll go to the gym and work out. Sometimes we'll go rock climbing. Sometimes we'll do something we've never done before, but we take every Friday, and sometimes it's just an hour. That's all we have time to do, but it's just an hour, and it's an hour for us. It's our cherished time. I don't bring my phone. I turn it off. Like, it is all about me and her. So try to have these intentional dates. It doesn't have to be fancy. There have been several Fridays my wife and I don't even go out. We just go for a walk in our neighborhood. Like, we go for a good hour and a half walk. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's incredible. We love it. And then we'll come home, we'll get something to eat, and we'll just sit outside, or we'll sit at our kitchen table and we'll talk. And it's great. And I'll tell you, there's a million other things that tries to pull me away from that. Like, oh, I've got this to do, and I got that to do, and I've got this project to work on. I could be working on this, and I could be working on that. I could be doing this, or I could be off. There's a gazillion things. I could work 23 hours out of the day, but sometimes everything else in the world has to suffer except for my marriage. And I'm really okay with that. Sometimes the rest of the world has to suffer, but I refuse to let my marriage suffer. And I say that because I spent half my marriage suffering. I did. Half my marriage suffering. And guys, there are still seasons where I still suffer. Luckily, doing this work for a living, my seasons are short-lived that are bad. And usually I can turn around faster, but it doesn't mean I'm not immune to bad things. One other thing, the end of the day connection. This one's hard. Okay, this one is hard. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it is super hard to sometimes muster the energy to have a conversation, especially if it's a two-way conversation, because there's a lot of times we get to the end of the day and she doesn't even feel like talking. Like my wife and I, we go so hard. Like I go hard in this business. Hard, hard, hard. Like I work tons of hours. It's blood, it's sweat, it's tears. It's a lot of energy. I'm sure there's probably people out there that think like I have the easy life and maybe I work an hour a day. That is not true. I work harder in this business, running my own business, than I ever did as a W-2 employee. Even when I was the national sales director, for one of the medical device companies I worked for, I was in charge of the entire country. Did not work this many hours. Didn't pull this much blood, sweat, and tears as I do now. So at the end of every day, we're tired. And I'm running up on the 15-minute mark, so I'm going to end here in a minute. End of the day connection. It could be literally this. My wife and I have been doing this lately. Roses and thorns. It's super easy. Wins and challenges. Roses and thorns, wins and challenges. What that really does is sometimes that might spark a 2-minute conversation, but it's still a connection. And we still get that intimacy that we want. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about intimacy. I'm talking about closeness. I'm talking about that connection that we so badly want, right? And it does that. We can do that in 2 minutes. Sometimes that turns into an hour-long conversation. Just depends on how we feel and how the night went. And there are some times we are exhausted, like out of our mind exhausted. And I will tell you, it is so hard sometimes to muster the energy to have a conversation, but that's okay. Like I said, even if it only lasts 2 minutes, try to connect. Share something that was joyful about your day. Share something that was a challenge about your day. Share something about how you can support each other better the next day in some way, shape, or form. That is the way to creating an incredible marriage, just with these like little like I said, micro moments throughout the day. Shoot her a text, write her a note, grab her a coffee, do something nice. Even put a Post-it note in the fridge where like where she reaches like for her gallon of juice or milk or whatever in the morning or whatever coffee she makes. Put it on the coffee maker. One intentional date per week. Guys, I'll tell you, marriages will fail and they will succeed based on how often you guys get out and spend one-on-one time together. One-on-one time together is so important. Make that intentional date happen, even if it's only for 30 minutes a week. And at the end of the day, even if it's only 2 minutes, try to connect. Roses and thorns, wins and challenges. How can I support you more? That is the move for this weekend, okay? So my question to you, here's the call to action. What is one intentional move that you're going to make this week or this weekend, and remind yourself that you are more than your wife's co-parent, okay? You are her Romeo, okay? You are her Casanova. I know you may not believe it, but dude, she married us. Like she married you, Jessica married me. They married us for a reason. Like they fell in love with us. And it might get crazy and it might get confusing and it might be like, holy crap, we're in a shitstorm of busyness. But if you do these small, tiny little things, I can promise you over time, these small deposits, it's like compound interest. It will do wonders, absolutely wonders for your marriage. I can guarantee that. Now, I've got a resource for you guys today, okay? And it's free. It's totally free. I'm going to have a link in the show notes for you guys for an email series that I created a couple of years ago called Creating Extraordinary Marriage. It's kind of a teaser to the course that I did. By the way, the course is free if you buy one of the pre-order books, so you'll get that for free. But really what the emails are, it's 15 emails over 21 days. And basically what I do is I teach you 3 skills over email. And then I tell you to go do these skills. Like, hey, here's a skill. I want you to go have this, here's a conversation I want you to go have with your wife. Go have the conversation and reply back to me and let me know how it went. And by the way, when I reply back to you, that is not someone on my team, that is not a bot, and that is not AI. That is literally me, old school, on a keyboard, like typing back to you and replying to you, me. It is, like I said, we don't use AI, we don't use bots, and I don't have a team that answers my email. I don't have a team that answers my DMs over Facebook, over Instagram. That is me. So if you ever have any questions, just ask or reply. If you opt into that free series, that free email series, reply back to me. I will reply back to you. You'll find everything that we're talking about today, guys, at thedadedge.com/1386 for today's show. Thedadedge.com/1386 for today's show. I will have a link in there for you for 21 Days to an Extraordinary Marriage. I'll also have a link in there for the pre-orders that I'm going to extend this deal that I'm giving away these 2 courses for free if you buy pre-order the book in the month of October. And I'll have a link in there for the Dad Edge Business Boardroom and the Dad Edge Alliance. This is the busy time. This is the month where guys are like, nope, not this school year. I'm going to make this school year kick ass, take names no matter how busy we are. I'm going to do life in the Alliance. I'm going to learn a thing or two about how to create a kick ass marriage. I'm going to learn a thing or two about being a better dad. If you listen to this podcast, you're already doing better. You're already being a better dad. But let's go out and be uncommon dads. Let's be legendary dads. That's what this podcast is all about. Gentlemen, from my heart to yours, thank you so much again for all the support. Thank you for all you're doing. Head on over to this show, thedadedge.com/1386. Go out, live legendary.